Hi, my name is Jake Pettit.
Hi, my name is Tim Pettit.
We're at Pettit Pastures in Milaca, Minnesota. We raise grass-fed beef and pastured pork. So regenerative is a big question on what it means to us. We kind of think of it as working with nature rather than against nature. And so we're focusing on our soils, trying to build the biodiversity in our soils, biodiversity of our plant life, our forages that the cattle are eating. Water quality is really big. It kind of ties back in with the soil and the plant diversity. And so trying to keep nature in mind as we're producing beef and pork is what it means to us.
I remember when I was a kid, my grandpa, we'd go out into a field and he'd look, and where there was angleworms in the soil, he said, "This is a good farm here." When we started getting into that conventional farming in the 60s and 70s and started spraying and putting all the herbicides and pesticides on the crops, well, pretty soon there was no more angleworms, there was no more soil health left.
Most of the agriculture today is still degrading the soil rather than adding back to it and trying to help it recover. With us and regenerative agriculture, that's kind of what we're focusing on, is helping that soil recover. Nature doesn't have monocultures. So monoculture would be like a field that's all corn or all soy. All of our pastures, we try to get as many different species of plants growing, and I think when people hear grass-fed, they think it's just grass, but it's forbs, it's legumes, 20, 30, 40 different species growing in a pasture. So we keep our cattle moving all the time, and by doing that, we allow the forages to fully recover. So when the cattle are in, we like to have the cattle eat about a third of the forage, trample about a third of the forage, and leave about a third of the forage to grow. That helps for water infiltration, it helps for wildlife habitat, it keeps the cattle eating fresh grasses and getting the nutrition that they need all the time. When you can support local agriculture, you are just taking a huge step ahead in knowing that, number one, you're supporting your local community, but number two, any of the benefits that are going into the environment are going into your local environment. You're helping rural communities in your state stay and thrive. A lot of people understand the health benefits of grass-fed beef, but I think the environmental and economic benefits to local rural communities are just as important.
Farming is my real love of life, you know, and to do this with, to bring our farm back to the way God gave it to us is pretty special.
If you'd like to support Pettit Pastures, you can order online at pettitpastures.com, and we will deliver directly to your home in the Twin Cities or central Minnesota.